Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with a Stoicheia deck profile which will be focused on Magnolia. Uh, we have the new cards from DBT04, so there's a lot of things that we can try, and this is the first thing that I tried. Because Soccer, I think I still need to think a little bit more, and this is the only deck that I get to test through the weekend, but unfortunately, I don't actually see a very good showcase to show you guys yet. So the next video will probably not be a fight video, and I will do another deck profile on something else, which you will stay tuned for that and see what it is. But I will try my best to get some fight videos up once I get a chance to fight with my friends and do a little more testing. So hopefully both sides can actually do what they want to do. Then I think it's a better showcase. So again, this is yet only the only deck that I've tested right now, but I feel a lot more comfortable after playtesting it, after adjusting the cards. So here we are. So it's a Magnolia deck, and little spoiler is actually the Grade 4, because if you see the thumbnail, you know that what deck it is. So not exactly a very good spoiler, but yeah, there it is. But I see people starting to use the Sorger right line for Grade 1 and 2, which to increase the chances to pull some good stuff. But if you use that right line, you probably need to hard mulligan until you meet a order card, which in a Magnolia deck you are not always using a lot of orders. So if you do all your hard mulligan and you even use a Ranger Chain and so Bartholomew draw 2, and if you still don't have any of those order cards, then you're probably kind of wasting the skill, because even though you can build up your drop zone and you can pull them out later, because there are many ways that you can pull stuff back, but I don't see the value there being bigger than able to call 2 units from Terrace and Lattice. So this is the right line that I still go for. So far it's helping me a lot, and as usual, when I first play this deck I usually play it a little bit slower, but after I actually try the cards out, I still think the need of going faster and having early aggression is quite important in this deck, because if you can't push your opponents hard enough early game, then they will just keep the cards in hand, and it will be harder and harder to guard. And if you are facing decks like even like Soger, or maybe even like the final deck, that they hit you so hard, and you always need to fold your hand out, that you can't form your good attacks to push them back. So being able to call units out, or at least have a chance to soul charge or get another card into your hand, is not bad at all. But if you get a good unit, not like me always pull a trigger out, then you'll probably have a good time. But you can still be able to play some units around to help you out to free up the board and try to apply the pressure early game. So this is the reason why I'm still using this white line. Now getting into the main deck contents first, spoiled 4 of the Magnolia Elgar. So if you choose to go for the Grade 4 routes, for me, the first thing I do is I take out all the Grade 3's Magnolia from the deck. Of course, by doing that, you kind of reducing your chances to always have the skill that if your Soul or Riga Circle have a Magnolia, all your Rigas can attack from the back row and all Rigas can intercept, and they get plus 5k. Right? That's the thing. But unless you're really facing like a Sarah Snow matchup that is going to ruin you a lot, but you can still getting your Magnolia back somehow, as long as you're willing to pay the cost, which this deck has a lot of Recounter Blast that you can use. So I don't see a problem right there. As long as I have one Magnolia in soul and I don't soul blast it out, usually I'm fine. And I don't have plans to keep rewriting the old Magnolia to, well, the personal ride is great, but if I don't draw it, and if I draw it later, what should I do? Because all the grade 3 cards have no shield value. Even though you can intercept with it, but they still don't have any shield value. So I'm not trying to be greedy here with cards that I can't guard with. So for Magnolia Elder, I think it's a better choice to do. And this card, when it appears on Vanguard Circle, you can actually choose a card from your soul and call to a Vanguard Circle if you want to, which helps you a lot because you do have like your carrots and lettuce that can be a good attacker, and even if you really don't have your choice, you can at least pull a Magnolia out to be 18k attacker, which is fine. But the main target that you always want to call is actually the blue archery dragon in the pulse dragon. So this card is supposed to be a Blackbird Dragon support card, but he got a good skill that link out with other units in this deck. So the first skill is something that you won't be able to use at all because it requires you to have a Blackbird name that you can attack a grade 3 or higher Vanguard, and it's first battle, so +1 and status unit. You won't be able to do that because you're not using Blackbird. But the second skill is a Vanguard Circle skill 2. Is when your turn ends, if you attack up 4 or more this turn, then you can put this card into your soul and draw 1. Now, this is great because you, as long as you get into Elder, or even if you do a normal Magnolia, you will guarantee yourself like a 4th attack, unless you really have a bad hand that you can't do anything. Which usually, even if you just put a trigger and use a Magnolia counter +1, give them 5k to attack for nothing, you can still reach that 4. So it's so easy. And once this card goes into the soul, you draw yourself a card, and next time you go into Magnolia Elder, and you can directly pull this card out again and use this again. And once you get into Magnolia Elder, you can guarantee more than 4 attacks or more, so that won't be a problem at all. And as long as you keep rewriting, this is a free unit and a free draw because you have this out for free, swing total 4 times, get in, draw a card, and next turn you write another Elder, pull this out, swing, going back in, draw 1. So as long as you can recycle this, you basically get a free draw every turn. And this card doesn't use any resources because you don't care about the first skill that you need to soul +1. So what you need to care about is only you missing a unit, but that is actually what we want. And to show you why, we can directly go into this card, which is free of the Silverhorn Beast and Pix. So this is a promo card. I can't tell if it's released in English yet. Unfortunately, I can't tell yet, but I'm starting to see the Brain Gate, the Serious No support starting to come out, so I think this card will also be available like now or maybe very soon. But the importance of this card is at the backrow circle, this card will get 10k always, and if you have 3 or less regards, the unit that is in the same column with this card can not be targeted by opponent's card effects, and also this unit. So if you have 2 whatever units like this and you have only 1 other regards, then these get themselves protected. So your opponents can't just prison them, can't retire them. They can still attack it, but they can't use card effects to basically make 2 of your units go away. So that is important. And how to do that? You have 2 of these, and you have 3 other regards. When you have a Magnolia Elder and then these 2 attack go into soul, then you reach free. And basically you have 2 invincible units against card effects, and 1 that can be gone if they really decided to touch it. But it's so easy to achieve that now, because in the past, if we want to use him, we do need to plan our games very well. Like, even if we intercept with a card, but your opponents can still do some stuff while you have more than 3 units, like 4 or 5, you can still get rid of the fox first, and then start to make more annoying moves. But now, you can reach 3 units only until end of turn, and you don't always need to reduce your attack times because you want to sustain the 3 units, which is very great, and making the deck a lot stronger, because this card itself is already 18k, and with Elder it's already 23k, so hitting magic numbers, 5k more would be great, but we can't ask for more. Okay, and next we are running 4 of the Silverhorn Beast Panphero. So this card is a card that I did not choose to run in the first place when I playtesting, but after that I decided to use 4. At first, the reason I'm not using this card is because I don't see myself actually using this card a lot. Yes, you can Soul Blast 1 when it appears on Vanguard Circle and call from drop zone and other Panphero to the board, but that means if you really want to fully utilize this effect, you need to run 4 or you're not going to run it. You can try to run 3, but that's not always helping you out, because if you want to guarantee yourself to like basically have it one to call, then you should always run 4, like what I did now. And as long as you have a Magnolia Vanguard, when this card attacks you get 5k plus, and if you're on Elder you get another 5k, so reaching 19k. Not a very magic number, I would say. So this is the reason why I choose not to run in the first place. But then what I realize is if I am facing against decks that needs me to basically throw my whole hands every single turn to defend myself, and I can't do anything, what can I do? This. Because I do have ways to revive, or if this card get into the soul by any chance, I can use Magnolia Elder to pull it out, and then I can Soul Blast another one to pull another one out. Then I at least have 2 attackers, at least. So still better than nothing, and as long as this card goes to drop, and you draw into another copy or you revive another copy, you can always bring them back. So that is the reason I choose to run. It's because facing high attack power pressure, this card is so easy to just drop it down as a guard, and that you don't worry about too much because it goes to drop, you have a way to get it back. So it's comparing to like this or other key units you have, this is a card that you always don't mind to just put down as a guardian and then pull it back. Or even just early rush, you lay this card down to get a 5k and swing for 14 when you're on a great return, or even starting on your great 4 turn. That's still fine. At least it is a card that you don't care too much that it's gone, but can help you out. This is the reason why I have this kind of like mindset change and running 4. Next, 3 of the Genosla. Since we have a lot of counterblast spare right now, as long as we get into Elder, we don't even need to use counterblast for Vanguard skill. We have a lot of chances to actually pass the ball and have fun with it. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm running 3 of the Genosla. Okay, so next I'm running 2 of the Gabrek, because this card can do a kind of a little guide restrictions especially when your opponents are having great ones on the field. Then you can basically stop them using PGs on you, and you can force them to actually drop the PGs early because they see this card and they know that they can't PG, and then they need to give you that. But not always happens, because in the new Nirvana build, I see a lot of Japanese players is actually not running any great ones at all, like in the main deck. So they run out of overdress units and they just rely on them. Then what you can block them to guard from hand is grade 2 and grade 3. So those usually is not a good showcase for this card, but that happens, and you can always like prepare for every single build. But except that, I think most of the decks you see will always run some kind of great ones, so you can still do that. And as long as you can soul blast one and get 10k, I think that's more important. And with Elder to help you plus another 5k, so reach 25k, nearly close to the 28 magic number. It's close, but it's still good enough. So rank 2, just in case we need that final push. And you can always let him to be in front of the Foxy so you can protect it from card effects. That's basically it. And then 2 of the Silverhorn Beast Elfin. So this is a card that I don't see people play mostly, but I really love this card. Not only because it's a cute unit, but his skill is also very, very important right here. Let me see if I can zoom in right here. Let's see, I think I need to zoom a little bit more. Yes, there we go. So this guy is in the back row, Rigor Circle. You attack with this card, and when your opponents need to guard from hand, they need to call 2 cards from their hand. So it's another guard restrictions. Good combo with the Gabrek. It's like you can't PG, you can only give me 2, and this I'll put it late, and I can pass ball to power to this, or maybe power to this, and you need to guard my attacks early. If you drop too many cards and you only have 1 PG in hand, this is stopping you from PG. This is also stopping you from PG because you need 2 cards to guard, and if you only have 1 card which is a PG, which usually you will just ditch and say I'm good for the day, protect myself with 1 PG because I only have 1 or less hand. This is stopping that. He's telling, no, you need to give me another hand that you don't have, so you need to take it. So that is why I love this card, and this card actually win me games sometimes. Like after this and go to this is usually my kind of a win card, and use these cards to actually pressure my opponents a lot, force them to give me some stuff, and then once they run out, they are hard to against this combo. And then 4 PGs, just because PGs are PGs, nothing too much to say. And then order cards, I'm only running 2 of the Spiritual Condensation and 2 of the Ball Intelligence. So at first I'm running 4 of these, but sometimes as long as I'm starting to use this card, I feel like I will be using a lot of souls, and there will be chances that I don't have enough of this. So in order to push myself a little bit, I use Ball Intelligence to help me mill a little. Don't use this too much, because as long as you are not a grade 3 Magnolia, you only can call 1, and you only get 1 turn to do that, unless you don't have a grade 4 in hand. So do be careful, but we do have a lot of counter loss to use, so it's good to have both that can bring you something good out. Okay, triggers. First, unlike usual, I'm going with the generic over trigger, because now I can pass balls a lot easier. So having 3 units that can attack for 100 million is very nice. This is basically why. So far, after changing into this build, I think this fits the deck more than the Stoicheia over trigger we have. So that's why I go for it. and then 4 of the soul charging crit because we do use a lot of souls. Another crit, 3 crits. 4 of the new draws that as long as your opponent is grade 3 or higher, you get 5k shield to be a 10k shield. I first burn 3, but I think 4 is needed because I do want to have a lot more draw power to stay in the game longer, and it's not a 5k anymore, which is helping me a lot. So there we go. And then lastly, 4 heals, because heals are heals. You just want to stay in the game, so there we are. Yeah, so that's basically the deck list. And what you want to do is to, again, try to early rush if you can, so you can give your opponents enough pressure that they need to give you a lot of cards to guard. And just don't be scared to put units out. Like, maybe you only have one Magnolia in hand that you think I might need to save it for the turn when I go to my Magnolia instead of while I'm still on lattice. But what you actually should do sometimes is actually play it out to force your opponents to drop some cards, because if you just have this and swing, your opponents can just go for 3k shield and you do nothing, even if you pull a crit. But as long as you have more than one unit on the field, then even if they guard for it, they still need to take care of the second one. And if the second one is actually with crit, if you can push through damage, that's great. If they give you another card, that's also great, because being able to play fast, and as a fast deck, as an aggressive deck, you don't want to let your opponents to have a lot of resources in hand. So even sometimes I do pull something like this, and I do have this little kit in my hand. I'll just play it and just swing, and then just swing, especially against decks that like to rush you, or even like this, because you can use this to pop the great one, this to give them some pressure, and then if this get a trigger to hit, great. If not, just let it be. But at least you need to apply the pressure as early as possible, and that's how you connect to your winning condition. And once you get into Elder, make sure you do have a Magnolia somewhere, hopefully in your soul. Then what you want to do is to have one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of this, and that. Yeah, that's probably, I think, the best formation you can do. Like, you can swing with any of these, probably just these and these first, and then swing with this, and you probably give the power and crit here, and swing with this, and swing with this, and then Soul Blast another card. Game when this attacks, Soul Blast, gain power, and swing, and then swing, and in turn, 2 in your soul, draw 2. Yeah, that's basically what I would do. So yeah, that's basically what I need to tell about this deck. Give it a try, and let me know what you think. This, after changing the grade 4, there's a lot of things that we need to think about, but I think it's a good run to experience new things, playing new cards, not relying on no cards. Some of them are no cards, but yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like this video. If you enjoy this deck profile, subscribe for more deck profile, card fight unboxings. I'm also touching Flesh and Blood as well, so you can, if you are interested in there, you can check the content right there, which I will start rolling them out. And yeah, just stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.